Today I wanted to take a step back from the daily vlog and ask a question that I think has been bothering a lot of us. What happened to Jake Wetterin? But first, a little bit of history. On August of 2017, I bought my first Jeep, a 1993 Jeep Wrangler YJ. I had plans on turning my Jeep into a mini camper so I could go camping and stuff. So I started doing research on YouTube when I came across this video.
That's gonna lead us to second off. I'm gonna do a Jeep tour. Show you guys how I've been living in my Jeep Wrangler.
I've been following his channel ever since. There was something just unique about him. There was always something just entertaining. Watching him do something that has never been done before. Living in a Jeep. And not just any Jeep, a 1994 Jeep Wrangler YJ. Converted to a CJ7. I think I speak for most of us when I say watching his vlogs is really inspirational. Just watching all the things he got to do with the opportunity to just go anywhere, do anything, traveling in a Jeep, and even just living in a Jeep. The whole thing was just fascinating to watch and extremely entertaining. However, as fun as it must have been, that doesn't necessarily mean it was easy. Not to mention all the repairs that must have happened. Being an older vehicle, Jade went through a lot of abuse. On a nearly 25-year-old vehicle, traveling all over the world, repairs were inevitable, and I think he knew this when he started this, but he just kept on going. Imagine having to fix your Jeep being stuck in the middle of nowhere, killing your battery while out on the beach.
I killed Jade!
With no one to help you, being stuck in snow, sleeping in all sorts of weather conditions, being out in Arizona, being out in Colorado with freezing temperatures. It must have not been easy, but it was definitely fun to watch. It was really cool to see just how much of a community Jake had built, with so many people helping him, supporting him, meeting new people, traveling the world. It was just fascinating, but things started going downhill. On August 18th of 2017, Jake uploaded a video telling us that his father had passed away, and
this video was taken about 6 weeks ago. Ever since then, my brother, my sister, and I have been going up to my dad's and trying to spend as much time as we could with him.
That couldn't have been easy for him. It only took him a couple weeks before he got back to his channel, which was actually pretty surprising considering what had just happened. He brushed it off, said it wasn't a big deal, told us that he was good, and kept going. Unfortunately, not long after that, Jade broke down, and it was time for an engine rebuild. Things really started changing after this when he switched from a hardtop to a soft top, as well as hooking up with his new girlfriend, Izzy. After that, lots of things started changing. He bought a trailer, converted Jade so that 2 people could live in her. Izzy joining on the vlogs made a completely new perspective, and it was interesting for a while, but unfortunately they broke up. We didn't get a lot of context as to what happened between them, and I personally think that it's okay to keep it between them. It's not really our business as to what happened. All we know is it obviously didn't work out between them. Even after that happened though, he just continued making videos. One thing after another, new upgrades, until finally he just went completely off the grid. No doors, no top, completely ditching the trailer. Eventually, him and his friend Ben hooked up, and things started looking good. Most of us could tell that something was off. He just didn't seem like himself. Although, he was still posting content, it just didn't seem like he was himself anymore. You couldn't really put your finger on it, but something was wrong. And I think a lot of us saw that. October 17th of 2018, he uploaded a video stated, "I can't continue like this." A 38-minute long video where he explains just everything that had happened.
The very last thing I ever did with my dad was fight him. Physically. First time in my life. And I had to fight him 3 times in one day. That was the last thing I ever did with my dad.
Even though it seemed like he had been okay for this time, later we found out that a lot of stuff had been bothering him. Depression, stress, anxiety, trying to do all that while traveling in a Jeep, dealing with those issues, and not really letting other people know, not being able to open up. just trying to push out content to make everyone happy, it couldn't have been easy for him. After that, he took a short break, and eventually he returned. This time, we got to meet a completely new person in the vlog. Kenzie Jade, his ex-girlfriend. It was really interesting seeing him hook up with his ex-girlfriend, someone who we might have never heard of before, but eventually realized was actually who he named his Jeep after. And things were looking up. He started making vlogs again, but once again, Jade broke down. A lot of us started mentioning that maybe it was time to get something newer, upgrade to maybe a JK 4-door, something just more equipped for the road, but he was insistent on keeping the Jeep. Instead of just upgrading to something newer and more reliable, he cut Jade in half, which was really interesting to watch. There was no more traveling. It was mostly just being stuck in a garage working on Jade. Although it was really interesting to watch the process of converting Jade into a complete overland rig, he eventually got tired of it.
We are not planning on going back to Utah to finish Jade.
This was really heartbreaking for a lot of us who have been watching him for the last few years. For nearly 3 years he's been traveling in Jade, and she's kind of been the star of the show the whole time. So to see him actually give up on Jade was really hard for a lot of us. As terrible as it sounded, he told us that he was going to buy a new rig, something unique, something that he hadn't seen anyone use before. And that's when he released the last video we've seen so far, announcing that he had bought a Wagoneer to start traveling in. That video was released 4 months ago, and since then we haven't heard anything. No updates on Instagram, Facebook account private, nothing. It's almost like he disappeared. It was really not what we were expecting. With all the talk of selling Jade and buying a new rig, we really thought that the channel was just gonna come back, that we were gonna get to see him travel again, explore, 50-state road trip, but it just disappeared. A lot of people have different opinions on whether or not he owes us something, and since this is my channel, I'm just gonna share what my opinion is on it. We really don't know how it must have felt for him. Traveling that long, living in a Jeep. I'm sure it was fun. I'm sure lots of us would love to do it, but with his dad passing away, with just everything that happened, we really don't know what it was like. I don't necessarily agree with not updating us. It's understandable. We're all human. Being left on a cliffhanger like that, not even knowing if he's gonna return, is kinda hard. But on the other hand, we kinda need to understand this is his life, and maybe he will return. Maybe the vlog is over. I really don't know. I started getting curious as to what happened to Jake, completely falling off the grid and everything. I started wondering if maybe something had happened. So I reached out to Kenzie Jade and just basically voiced my opinion, telling her that I hope that all is well and I hope to see Jake back on the vlog soon. And she actually replied. This is the message I got. Hey Trevor, thanks for reaching out. I try to cut this to the chase without all the other baggage, but the vlog will definitely go on when we are able to get back out in the world when it's best and safe. We would probably already be back out there if the pandemic wasn't happening. We know, although we don't usually read comments because as humans it takes a toll on you whether it be positive or negative, that some people don't agree with how the vlog has been, but that's okay because everyone is entitled to feel how they want to feel. We can't change that. We are just doing what is best for us now so that we are the best versions of ourselves when we are able to get back out there. We are extremely excited to get back out in the world and venture again. So yes, the vlog will pick back up soon. Hope all is safe and take care. I stand by this fact. We don't know what's going on. We can't know what's going on. Maybe things are going great for him, maybe something happened. Throughout his vlog, he's been very open and honest about a lot of his personal life, but sharing all the intimacies of your life, your personal life, that's not really our business. And I think it's a little too much to ask to expect that. Thinking that we deserve an explanation is human, but I don't necessarily think it's right. That's just my personal take on it, and the best thing I can say is put yourself in his shoes. I do hope he returns. At the end of the day, I'm human too. I hope that inevitably he will continue the 50-state road trip, whether it be in the Wagoneer or maybe even by Jadeback. Who knows? It's entirely possible that he decided to give up on the vlog. This was Kenzie's opinion on the take. As far as we know, he might never return. Maybe he decided he'd rather settle down. And I think he's earned that. As much as I hope he returns, I think he gets to decide what's best for his life, and if he decides what's best for him is to end the vlog now, then I think we should just respect that. As I plan on starting my own 50-state road trip in the next coming months, I really hope that he does get back on the road, because it would be great to get to meet him, maybe do a collab or something. I definitely have a lot of inspiration because of his videos, and I have a lot of respect for him as well. He's been a huge inspiration for me, especially with my Jeep. I've messaged him before asking for helps and tips on certain things, and for the most part he's replied. I know that for a lot of you it's still hard, having supported him and sponsored him, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's his life, it's his story, and we have to respect it.
Sometimes fast and sometimes slow, they are falling to the ground. Dance around circles, and I catch them with my mouth. It softens all the noises, it's all